Hi everyone, International Master Mon Hambleton here, bringing you the recap from the round 4 of the Pro Chess League hosted on chess.com. The Montreal Chessbrahs were in action again against the Carolina Cobras, and we were very happy to have the debut of Grandmaster Eric Hansen, fresh off the plane, back from the Netherlands, solid result in Weikensee, and now he's finally ready to play his first match for the Chessbrahs against a team from Carolina with nobody really that well known or that highly rated, but they've been taking out teams well above their stature in the division, so they're definitely a team that we did not take lightly. So going into the match, we knew we might get a lot of surprising results from some potentially underrated players. We had a very crushing victory this week in the end, 12.5 to 3.5, and that moves us into second place in the standings. So a big result for Montreal, but it didn't always seem like it was going to be so easy. Let's take a look at some of the important highlights of the match. So first off, it was a big boost for the Chessbrahs to have Grandmaster Eric Hansen captaining the team on board 1. He scored 4 out of 4 on the week, crushing his opposition, and here is one of the games he played against the board 1 for the Carolina Cobras. Alexander Matros here, an international master, about 2450 rated, and black has just played the move bishop takes d4, sacrificing a piece. White has a raging attack here, and the idea is if queen takes, rook c4 with some counterplay, maybe taking all of the pawns on the king side. And when you're in white's position here with a nice attack like this, that's not something you give up very easily. And Eric continued with the move h5, just going for the throat here. If you take that pawn, there's going to be invasions on h7. Meanwhile, don't forget that bishop is still hanging. Black continues bishop takes b2. He's just going on a pawn hunting spree. And white is crashing through with h takes g6, f5, trying to use the rook as lateral defense. But after bishop takes on g7, rook c4, again looking for counterplay with rook g4. That was the whole idea. A nice move, queen h2, rook g4, king f1, and surprisingly, although both of these pieces are hanging, there's no way to stop checkmate on h7 or h8, and in this position, black ended up losing on time, or he let his time run out. So right off the bat, that was a big result, getting a victory from our board 1 matchup, and Eric took care of business against the lower rated players. So like I said, 4 out of 4 on the week. Good to have him back, and what a great debut. The next game is actually one of mine. I didn't have the best week, only 2.5 out of 4. I managed to blunder away one of my games, which I thought was promising for me. Once again, in time pressure, something I need to work on. But these guys are definitely a bit underrated for their strength. This was the game I played in the first round with the black pieces here. And in this position, white is clearly dominating on the queen side, so I felt like I needed to create some initiative elsewhere. And I went ahead with the move knight takes h4, very thematic in a position like this. After queen takes h4, there's just no defense to queen h2, so black is guaranteed to get some counterplay. After this knight was accepted, knight g3, queen h2, king f1, and now the nice move bishop e6. And I'm planning to bring my bishop to c4, checking the king, and it's hard to keep running away because all these pieces and pawns on the king side are going to start hanging. So it puts the king in a very unpleasant position. The game continued, knight takes pawn, bishop check, and what I thought was a nice move, bishop to a6, just getting out of the way of rook takes bishop, threatening rook takes knight, and after that, if bishop takes, there would be checkmate on the board. And after the move f3, I guess I was just in the zone, another sacrifice, followed by queen g3, and if queen e1 to stop mate on f2, then there's knight takes e3 and queen takes g2 checkmate. So this was one of the only tactical games you might see me play the whole season. So I was very happy with that, not usually my style, and I managed to finish it off by typical grandmaster advice, bring all your pieces into the attack, rook e8, and there's just no defense to all my pieces swarming the white king. And after rook takes g3, white resigned. Mate is coming on g4. So this was one of my only nice games. I did manage to drop a game as well as a draw, which I was quite lucky to get in the last round. So not the best week for me, but luckily 4 out of 4 on board 1, and the rest of our boards took care of business. And let's take a look how. Board 3, we had a return feature of Michael Kleinman, FIDE Master, and here he was playing the board 2 of the Carolina Cobras with a pretty standard isolated pawn position here. And after the move knight e4, we see the simple idea of knight takes knight, followed by queen h7 checkmate. And it's not that easy to stop. g6 loses a pawn to bishop takes h6. So after the move knight h7, we saw a little bit of a knight dance here as Michael tried to understand where was the best place for his knight, and then he figured it out. Knight g3 is a nice move, and after knight back to f6, which is the only move that doesn't compromise the structure or lose a pawn, knight h5. And we see the exact same idea as on e4, taking the knight followed by checkmate. But this time, the knight is not in the way, so there's no knight h7. And after this nice little almost triangulation or square dancing with the knights, black doesn't have any option here except to play the move g6. And after knight takes knight and bishop takes h6, white is simply a pawn up, and he did go on to win this game. So Michael Kleiman, 3 out of 4 on the week. He only lost 1 game, and that result on board 3 was definitely a big help towards our big final score of 12.5 points. So moving on to board 4, and we get to take a look at a guy who's making his debut as well. This is National Master Elias Usk, also from the Montreal area, currently a studying doctor. And here, black has just played the move knight h7, and let's keep in mind, Alexander Matros here playing with the black pieces. That's the board 1 for Carolina. So our board 4 against board 1 for Carolina, definitely a big game, and Elias was up to the task. After the move f4, which shuts down a lot of the counterplay, it seems like black didn't realize that pawn takes pawn was dangerous and simply blundered a piece with queen takes g6. So while we all thought that the game might be over here, after knight g5, it seemed like the international master was not going to go down without a fight, and after queen h5, queen f6, queen takes h4, things are getting very scary here for Elias, and if black had played the correct continuation, knight takes on h3, followed by f2 check, this king has to move, and then black gets the rook, followed by a nice combination of rook takes d4, and the other rook is hanging on e1. This would have been just a mess on the board. So Elias a little bit fortunate there, didn't play the most accurately after winning the piece, but like I said, fortunate for him. Black played the move rook takes d4 now, not the best order, and after a complete mess of tactics, somehow Elias managed to end up with 2 rooks and 2 pieces for a queen, not at all close material-wise, and he managed to convert this game against the international master. This was round 1, and it was only a sign of things to come, as Elias Usk, national master 2200 on board 4 for Montreal, scored 3 out of 4 in his debut. That's a guy you might be seeing more of as the league goes on. So a big week for Montreal, guys. We had our board 3 and 4 score 3 out of 4 respectively, and a big result, a perfect score actually on board 1. It seems so far in the league our board 1 is someone we can really rely on. What's important for the Chessbrahs is after this win we move to a record of 3 and 1. We're now 2nd in the Atlantic division of the Pro Chess League, so we're definitely very happy with our standing, but we've got big matches coming up. We've got Norway and Miami. That's Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura's teams coming up. But most importantly, coming up next, guys, is Magnus Carlsen's team. That is the Norway Gnomes, and that match is taking place February 11th, 10:40 a.m. Eastern Time. So make sure to tune in. That is not on a Wednesday. That is a Saturday. Special prime time for this match. So 10:40 a.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to set your clocks. I mean, this could be the strongest match of the entire season, really. We've got the potential to see Fabiano Caruana and Magnus Carlsen show up. So you're definitely going to want to tune into that week, guys. I promise you, you're going to see some big potential rosters take place there. We're really looking forward to that match. No word yet on what roster we're going to field, but you guys are definitely going to want to tune in to take a look at who's going to be playing that. That is on February 11th. International Master Miodrag Perunovic is going to be doing commentary as usual, and we hope you guys come out to support us. That is my very quick recap of round 4. A big victory for the Chessbrahs, our biggest margin of victory yet, and we got a very tough opponent in Magnus Carlsen and the Norway Gnomes on February 11th. We hope you guys tune in, and we'll see you next time.